Hi everybody, welcome back to Mama Bear's Instapot Cooking and Adventures. And it's almost Super Bowl weekend. What would Super Bowl weekend be without a good pot of chili? I've always made mine in the past years in a crock pot. The recipe I'm going to be showing you today, you can make in a crock pot. Go ahead, brown your meat first, follow the basic ingredients, cook it on low for about 8 hours, same difference. But with this, I went ahead and I browned my meat because after this I'm going to be making another video. So what we would do at this point would be to brown our meat inside our Instapot. And then you could also add the onions if you like it that way. I prefer mine with a little more crunch, so I wait until after I have the meat browned and drained and added back into the pot to be able to build it from there. So basically that's a difference too. We're going to assemble all of our ingredients and then we're going to cook it for 20 minutes. So let's get started cooking and I'll show you how we're going to do this. Okay, first thing, I just turn this on saute. I want it to come up to heat kind of quick, even though I'm really not sauteing. That's just it telling me that it switched to on. So what I have here today, I took 1 can of, here we go again, 1 can of crushed tomatoes, and that's 28 ounce can, okay? And then I also took a 28 ounce can of whole tomatoes and I cut them up. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add this into our pot. And like I said, if you didn't already have your meat cooked, you would do that first. Just be sure to drain all the fat off of it and then add it back into the pot and then begin to build it from there. Also remember that whenever we use our Instapots, we have to have at least 1 cup of liquid of some sort, whether it's broth or water or juice, something of that nature, in order to create the steam for it to come up to pressure, because that's what makes it cook, is the steam that builds up in there. And if it doesn't have any liquid to build the steam up, it's not going to cook. So I left, when I did my my crushed tomatoes, and then I did my whole tomatoes, I went ahead and I left the juice in there. So that's in there with it. Okay. I'm going to be worrying about being all tidy right now. Next thing I'm going to add is going to be my onions, because I do want to soften those up just a wee bit, not a lot. And what I have here is the equivalent of about 2 medium onions. Didn't have any large ones, so the ones I used were about that big around. In other words, it would have fit like that in the palm of my hand. Let's get this stirred up in here. Now before I add the meat, because it will crowd it a little bit to where I won't be able to blend up my spices and things the way that I like to do. And like I always tell you, if I put something in and you think, I don't really want that, change it. Change it to what suits you and your family. Like I always say, recipes are nothing more than guidelines. Change it up, change it down. Basically, the thing is to just get comfortable with your Instapot. And so with us doing it this way, you'll begin to know the mechanics of it to where you are comfortable with it, and do the rest what you want with the ingredients. But always remember that rule about 1 cup of liquid. Me, I cheat. I don't use a list this long of spices, just good old chili seasoning mix. Try to bring it along here a little bit. Put the whole thing in there. Gonna add a little bit of chili powder. I like it a little bit hot. I don't like it as hot as my husband does, but hey, he's who I'm making it for, so. And I guess if I had to measure that, I'd say that was about 2 teaspoons full. Next, I'm going to dump in a couple tablespoons of garlic. And then, since my husband does like it spicy, I'm going to add some rotel. And this is what it looks like. It's the diced tomatoes and green chilies. I think everybody's probably seen those. A lot of you probably already use it. You can leave it out if you don't like it spicy. Also, the chili powder mixes. Doesn't have to be any particular name brand. It can be a store-bought brand. You know me, I shop at Walmart, so you know I do great value. If I'm in Publix, I do their store brand. I found out I used to work at one of the great big stores and train other people, and I found out by doing that, and by the way, I left the juice in there, by doing that a lot of name brand things are made by name brand companies, and then they'll make it for a particular store and put their label on it. So in essence, you're getting the same product. It's just with a contract that this particular store has signed with particular name brand companies to have their products manufactured under their store labels. And so a lot of times it's the same exact thing. Okay, now we've got that in there. And we're going to be using today, I'm going to wait and add the beans stuff because I do not like to beat my beans to death. I use them out of a can. We're going to be putting in a can of dark red kidney beans and a can of light red kidney beans. It gives a little bit of color. Some people say they all taste the same. I can taste the difference between the two. It's subtle, it's personal preference. You can use other things that you might like instead. Okay, this was my hamburger, and it is all drained off. Hands don't work like they used to. Drop it in there, Caroline. Okay, now I'm going to be very mindful. You'll notice I got some great big chunks in there. By the time we stir it around, it'll break down. It's always better, I think, to leave it in big chunks because you can break it down. I don't like to ask, where's meat? You know, if I eat chili, I want chili. Mixed up real good here. And let me find my maximum line for you so that you'll know where it's at on here. I can't find it myself. There it is. It's right there. I don't know if you can see it from my hand, but it's right there. So we won't be going over that. Okay, now let's add our beans. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to hold back some of the liquid in the beans in case I do come close to that fill line. I don't want to do that. So it's better to put the beans in and then see where we stand with it. Okay, we got enough room. So that was 2 cans of kidney beans with the juice, and fill to the line. Right there is the line. So done good. Let me give this just a real quick stir so that everything's mixed up good. Just want to kind of gently toss it around. That smells good already. Okay. Now I'm not mushing it down in there because I don't want to block my vents because it will just puff right back up. But I do want it kind of even to where as much as I can, I've got it down in there close to the level of the liquid. Okay. Put our lid on. And sometimes I'm good at this, sometimes I'm not. There we go. Okay, it's on there. This is the model to where mine for sealed is right in the middle. Oh, and I did want to mention to you, this is a 6 quart. They come in 3, 6, and 8. And this being the 6 quart, you can use these measurements. If you have a 3 quart, just cut everything in half. And if you have an 8 quart and you're having in a larger group, by all means, add more beans, add more tomatoes, add more meat if you want. It's your recipe now. Do it if that works for you, and whatever cooker that you're using. I always say Instapot, that's just a name brand. I'm not sponsored by anybody, and I use different kinds of them, so use what works for you. So we're going to go in and we're going to use our manual button today for 20 minutes. And we're going to cook it on that. When it does come up, that's it taking a hold and accepting that reading. So when it does come up to pressure, it will start its countdown for 20 minutes. It will take a while with this much volume to come up to pressure. That's one reason why I wanted to turn on the saute while we were assembling everything and let some heat kind of begin to build up in there. So we're going to let this cook, and when it's done, I'll come back and get you, and we'll see what we've got. See you in a few. Welcome back, everybody. Our chili's done. I already took a peek of it. It took about 10-15 minutes for it to come up to pressure. I let it cook on high for 20 minutes, and then I let it slow release for 10. And when I went to release it, there was hardly any pressure at all left in it. So when I took a peek in there, this is what we have. Get this stirred up good. And you can see the onions. Well, let me get some dished. It's hot. Put just a wee bit of broth in there. Won't make it very frothy. And plus too, by the time I warm it up to serve it, since I am making it ahead, it will make more juice, but you can see the consistency of it. Let me put it over here so you can see it. And you can see the sized meat. The onions have broken down to where they're, grab that without being attached. I'll just get another one. To where they're nice and done. They're not real rock hard and chewy, but they do have a texture to them. They're not completely absolved. So as soon as I can get this to where I can taste it, we'll take a little taste and see what we've got. Hot. I don't like ripping my face off. I think that's probably the one thing about making videos that I always dread the most, because it's always so hot. Pardon me, hot. We did really good. I wouldn't change a thing on this. None of the ingredients for our liking or the cooking time. So on that note, get out your Instant Pots, have a good time, make up some good Super Bowl chili, and enjoy. And if you like this video, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. Leave me a note down in the comments and let me know what you think of the recipe today. I always enjoy reading them and hearing from you. And on that note, I'll see you next time we get out our Instapots or we go on an adventure. Thanks.